So I'm here talking with Jason St. Laurent, Director of Programming at Inside Out, and he's here to talk to us about the 21st anniversary of the film festival, which gets underway shortly. So do you want to talk to us a little bit about what we can expect this year?
Well, altogether we have about 190 works from 33 countries, and our international focus this year will be on the UK. It's our biggest and most comprehensive international focus ever, and we've worked, very closely with the BBC in securing some very important premieres for the festival. In terms of, other sidebars of the festival that are important, we're doing a special one-off series this year called 24 Hours in the Middle East, which will kind of give us a glimpse of what it's like to be queer in places like Lebanon and Iran and even in the diaspora.
Was heißt ein guter Muslim zu sein?
There's a great film from Germany called Shahada, which is 4 interlocking stories of Muslims trying to find their place in Berlin. One of those stories, of course, is queer, and it's a gay man wrestling with issues of, his sexuality and how he reconciles that with his faith. So that's a very important perspective because, similar issues arise here in Canada with immigration. So we thought that was a very important story to tell.
For sure. And going back to the British spotlight, one of the films I'm most excited about is Weekend, which I've heard really good things about out of its premiere in Texas, oddly enough, this March. Do you want to talk about that film a little bit?
Yeah, well, speaking of Texas, that's where it kind of made the waves because it took, it took away a big audience award at South by Southwest. The film was immediately picked up by IFC Films, and it's by a filmmaker who's better known as a documentary filmmaker. He did a film called Greek Pete, if that rings a bell. His name's Andrew Hay, and so this is kind of his first foray into narrative storytelling, and he's actually a stunning filmmaker in that department.
Let's talk a little bit about some of the lesbian content that's screening at Inside Out. There's Circumstance, which is a film that won an audience prize at Sundance that's screening in the festival.
Yeah, and we're very proud of that film because it came in at the very last minute, so it's our surprise film this year. And, of course we like to bring back, the very best films from festivals around the world, and that really was one of the hits at Sundance this year. But in terms of programming for women, there's lots of exciting stuff. We're doing the Canadian premiere of The Night Watch, which is an adaptation of a Sarah Waters novel, which makes Sarah Waters one of those rare authors where every single one of her books has been adapted to film. So I can see that a lot of people in the community are excited by that because, Sarah Waters does that to people.
So Inside Out is opening with Loose Cannons, which is an Italian film that's been on the festival circuit. Do you want to talk a little bit about that film and sort of what people can expect from the first night of Inside Out?
Sure. Well, Loose Cannons was directed by a Turkish-Italian filmmaker named Ferzan Özpetek, and people know him from his debut feature called Steam. So that kind of made waves on the international queer circuit at the time. So it's really great to bring him back to the festival, because that's one of our roles, I believe, is to support filmmakers throughout their career. We're doing the Canadian premiere of Loose Cannons, and it's going to be one of those rare films that actually hits the screens in Toronto and across the country. So that film will actually get theatrical release here, which is amazing.
So are there any new filmmakers in particular that sort of stand out in Inside Out's lineup this year that we should be looking out for?
Well, probably my absolutely favorite short in the entire festival is by a director who's, made waves because he's sort of brought the narrative to the porn in a really, really fantastic way. So he's got a short film in the Sexy Boys program this year called I Want Your Love, about these two guys connecting. This is actually a work that he's making into a feature film, which should hit the festival circuit at some point next year. So he's one of those voices that I find very interesting at the moment.
And from what I understand, he used the short sort of as a demo to raise money for the feature that it'll be based on.
Yeah, that's my understanding, and and it's no surprise that he's actually gotten financing based on that short because it's just stunning.
Okay, and it's I Want Your Love.
I Want Your Love.
I can taste it being on your lips. Cool.